I found Access Bars after the birth of my second daughter. At the time, I was dealing with postpartum depression, and I'm typically a very happy person. And after she was born, we had a traumatic birth. I mean, we were both physically fine. But after that, I couldn't connect with her. I had a hard time naming her. And it was so different from the birth of my older daughter. And I was really looking for something different. And I was practicing yoga every day. I was meditating. And nothing would get rid of the depression and the sense that I had really done something wrong by not giving her the birth that I thought was perfect. So I ended up finding a woman in town who did all these other sorts of things. And she also had a little poster about Access Bars in her office. And I went to her for something different, and all my eyes could focus on was that poster. And I was like, what is that? And she said, well, Access Bars is just this thing that gets you out of the way of you. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay, I'll try it. And so she said, well, you could take a class with me, or I could give you a session. But if you take the class, you learn how to do it, and we have weekly trades. And at the time, I was taking a break from teaching. I used to be a high school teacher, so I was a stay-at-home mom, and I had the space to do that. So I just said, you know what, I'll just try the class. Even though I was convinced I knew nothing about energy nor could do something like that, but there was something light about it. So I ended up at this class, and they partnered me with another young man who had also never experienced Access Bars. And I laid on the table, and he put his hands on these 32 points. And I sat up after the session, and there was a peace in my world that I would say is probably what you get from meditating for like 24 hours. I've never meditated that long, but there was just this complete relaxation and peace and happiness that I really hadn't been experiencing since she was born, especially. And I remember walking into the bathroom in class and looking in the mirror and seeing myself in my eyes. It was like I was more present than I ever had been. And from that point, I connected with one of the women in class. I said, I don't know what this is, but can we trade once a week and just kind of find out what changes? And my whole life started to change. And one of the biggest things I noticed was in the class, they teach you the clearing statement, which are all these crazy words in Access Consciousness that I said, this sounds insane. I don't know what it's doing, but I will try anything. And so I drove past the hospital where she was born. And up until this point, if I would drive by or even think about her birth, I would either cry or get really frustrated and angry and upset about the whole thing. It's like I couldn't create a distance from that event. And so it was maybe a day after class, and I drove past the hospital, and I got that feeling again. And I said, okay, everything this is, I don't know what this is, everything this is, I destroy and uncreate it. And then I ran the clearing statement, which is right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And I maybe did that 3 times in the car, and all of the upset, the stress, the anxiety, the charge around that event just disappeared. And I was like, I've been trying this for 6 months with every other tool I had in meditating, and nothing changed it, and it changed it that fast. And since then, the rest is history. After that, I went to 2 more bars classes to become a facilitator and started facilitating and teaching the class to others. And all I've seen is such phenomenal change in people's lives. It always looks different, and you don't know what it's going to be for you until you experience it. And I don't ever promise this will happen or this will change. I just know that there's a lot more peace and possibilities for anyone who experiences it. And so I was all in after that. And now, it's funny, I even thought that I couldn't connect with my daughter. She's the happiest, most beautiful girl. And it changed the whole direction of her life. And I will be forever grateful for that.